All right, the time is 6:30 and a quorum being present, I call this meeting to order. First items on the agenda. We don't have any approval of minutes right now, so we can skip right to agenda item A, minor modification for Taylor Goodrow, 100 Breckenridge Road, Assessors Map 111, Lot 68. Is there anybody here for that? If you just want to come up to the table and introduce yourself and then explain what you plan on changing.
My name is Taylor Goodrow, and when I originally permitted my NOI with you folks about, 3.5 years ago, on the original plans, there was a shea wall concrete, like a weighted concrete block solution for the retaining wall. And I'm trying to change that to a different type of retaining wall system made by Versalock. And it's called their lock and load system. And essentially, instead of using the weight of the gravity of the concrete blocks, it uses more of like a concrete facade with a leg concrete anchor that ties to like a geogrid, and then you compact over that. So that's the first part, and then because the original shea wall system that was proposed had a fence post built in where I could put like a fence post system into it. The lock and load doesn't, so I'm asking if I can instead put in some 10-inch sonotubes of concrete and then probably use something like a 6-inch sleeve inside of that to then put the fence post in, instead of using what would have been in the shea wall system. And I have some sheets kind of explaining that. I don't know if you guys have copies of that, but that is what I'm proposing as a minor modification.
I don't want to say it's a simple or a standard thing, but I mean, it doesn't raise any red flags to me. Does anybody else have?
Is it the same form, fit, and function as the original proposed structurally?
Yeah, it's going to be an engineered wall. Like I'll have a PE stamp plans for it, and it'll be in the same location. It should be able to hold back the weight. It's just the system by which it holds back the weight is different.
Okay. I have no issue.
Can I just ask why you're making the changes?
It's like 30 grand cheaper.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good reason.
It involves a lot more labor, but I value my time at $0 an hour, so 30K saved is pretty good.
Like my father.
Mine too.
All right, if there's no further discussion on this, I will entertain a motion to approve the minor modification as discussed at this meeting. Do I have a second?
Yes, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, agenda item B is a request for a certificate of compliance for Kazajian Enterprises, Inc., 2512 Main Street, Assessors Map 94, Lot 65, DEP file number 305-1111. Could you state your name and then fill us in on the details of the current status so far?
Sure. My name is Troy Stearns of Civil Design. I'm here with Kazajian Enterprises. So last year on April 8th, which the discussion revolved around moving pavement area from the walkway and patio and converting it to a vegetated cover. We determined that was an exempt activity under the Wetlands Protection Act. So activity has since been completed, and it results in a 93 square foot decrease of impervious area within jurisdictional area compared to the approved conditions. So we believe this project has now been completed in substantial compliance.
All right. I don't think I have any questions. I think that's what we were just looking to hear. So if anybody else has any questions?
No questions. No.
All right. This will be a pretty quick one. Could I have a motion to approve the request for certificate of compliance as discussed at this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you very much. All right. Agenda item C is a public hearing, request for determination of applicability for Nelson Cross, 8 Maplewood Road, Assessors Map 40, Lot 26. Could you just introduce yourself for the record, and then the floor is yours.
Good evening. My name's Nelson Cross. So our property is surrounded by wetland to the left of the house, in the rear, further back, and across the street. So when we moved in, there's an existing deck off the back left side of the house that's about 22 feet going away from the house, and I believe about 16 feet going across the house away from the wetland. It's structurally not sound, and we're looking to just replace the deck, but instead of going 22 out by 16 across, we're looking to go 16 out by 20 across, again, going away from the wetland, so it is kind of a new design.
So there's 2 decks, but you're only replacing one?
Currently, the first one, yeah, due to cost.
All right.
The second deck, transparently, I'm not sure that it's within the buffer zone, but I figured I would just throw it on there as well. It's to the right of my house. And yeah, it's away from the stream that I think is causing the buffer issue with the first deck.
All right. Yeah, I'm just, it's a little late because if you plan on changing the other deck, I almost want to, update it so you have the ability to, even if you decide you don't want to. I'm not sure how much work that would be to do that right now. Is that?
Both, I believe that both are on the original, you requested, correct? You requested for 2 deck replacements?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I just.
All right.
So there is the second, the second deck would be the exact same
Right.
configuration.
It'd be identical, just new.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Oh, perfect. Then, yeah, because,
They're both included in the RDA application, so you all can absolutely approve both of them. And he would have 3 years to do.
yeah, all right. So 3 years. I'm just trying to save you from coming back here.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we intend to do the other deck next year. I think just the additional $16,000 was the deciding factor.
Yeah, as you probably just heard, $30,000 extra dollars
Yeah.
can sway people. All right. If there's no other comments from the commission, I'm going to,
Can I just ask you, so how would that work? Like when they do the next one, do they have to contact Abby?
well, it sounds like you're proposing to replace both decks, one in the same exact configuration, the other one slightly different dimensions. But he's planning on only doing one of them right now. But he has 3 years to do the other one or not do the other one if you choose not to. So I guess my only concern with that is because the delay in when the work will actually be done, if you do want to change the other deck to slightly different dimensions, you just have to come back for a minor modification. And please don't forget to do that if you choose to do that.
This is kind of, that deck is honestly just a landing deck to the stairs, so it's
All
a
right.
raised ranch, so we have no intention on ever changing the design of that one.
All right. So does that answer your question?
No, I'm just wondering, how does Abby know when they go to do the second one? If it's a year from now, do they then contact Abby so she can go out and look at the erosion controls and stuff, or how does that work?
Is that even in the jurisdictional, the smaller one?
Does that have-
I think it's kind of questionable where that line.
Looking at that map.
Exact wetland line is, you can certainly, vote to approve one. You can change the special conditions that only erosion controls apply to one deck. Yeah, it's all up to you.
Yeah, no, I just don't want them to have a problem in the future, so let's just make it clear, what are they supposed to do when they go to do the second one?
So it does come through on OpenGov, so I get every building permit.
Okay,
So I would
okay,
have,
so you'll see it. Okay,
this.
okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You'd have
That goes to
to,
you, yes.
yeah.
So I was here 2 years ago to cut down 14 trees, and that's why I know it's questionable, but that deck was kind of in the zone of trees that didn't need approval at the
Oh, all
time.
right.
I think we just threw it on there to be safe, right?
Yeah, and you all can vote to say that you only need one, or just not have special conditions apply to the second deck. It's up to you all.
It's a good distance away. I mean, that's
Yeah, I'm willing to, have the special conditions only apply to the,
To the one closest
Yeah.
to
yeah.
Resource.
I mean, if that's okay with.
Whatever
you and
works for
everybody
you
else.
all.
Yeah.
I would just like to build the deck this
Yeah.
year.
Were we nice to you on the trees?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's fine, I just wanted to be clear so
Yeah.
that they know what
it's
to do
great.
going.
Abby will get
Yeah.
another building permit notification for whenever that work is
no worries.
done. All right, so before I open it up to the public, I'm just going to read these special conditions, which I think we will all say only applies to the deck that's being changed from 28 by 14 to 16 by 20. This conditions include the applicant shall install and maintain perimeter controls around the area of work to prevent the deposition of debris into nearby resource areas. Perimeter controls shall remain in place until all areas of erodible materials have been stabilized at the site. These controls shall act as a limit of work. No equipment can be stored or work done past that point. Prior to any construction activity commencing, the following must be completed. ESCs shall be installed by the applicant or an agent of the applicant, and the conservation agent shall inspect and approve of the installed ESCs. Pretty standard, it's just the straw wattles going around the work.
Perfect. I'll leave that to you and the contractor.
All right. All right. Now that that's out of the way, I will open up to the public. If anybody would like to get up and make a comment, I ask that you do so now. Not seeing anybody rise, could I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. And could I have a motion, could I have a negative determination of applicability as discussed at this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I didn't hear you, Steve. Did you?
I said aye.
Oh, all right. Chair votes aye as well. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. Agenda item D, public hearing, request for determination of applicability. Jeff Boggs, 287 South Street, Assessors Map 95, Lot 131. Could you please introduce yourself for the record, and then the floor is yours.
My name's Jeff Boggs, and I'm here on behalf of the homeowners, Paul and Sandra Bruno.
And can you just go into
What I'm
explain?
doing? Okay, yeah. I work, I want to rebuild a deck for them, and it falls in the Wetlands Protection Act, and I don't plan on changing anything. I just want to kind of update the rotten deck and fix it with, and fix it.
All right, so it's the same
Same
footprint and
layout,
everything?
Same everything.
Just
yeah.
replacement?
And the
Okay.
site work actually looks good, so I'm not even digging.
All right. Any questions or comments from the commission? Seems pretty standard. All right. Before I open up this to the public for comments, I'm just going to read out some special conditions.
Okay.
The applicant shall install and maintain perimeter controls around the area of work to prevent the deposition of debris into nearby resource areas. Perimeter controls shall remain in place until all areas of erodible materials have been stabilized at the site. These controls shall act as a limit of work. No equipment can be stored or work done past that point. Prior to any construction activity commencing, the following must be completed. ESCs shall be installed by the applicant or an agent of the applicant, and the conservation agent shall inspect and approve of the installed ESCs. Are you comfortable with all that?
Yes.
All right. So I will open it up to the public. If anybody would like to make a comment, now is the time to do so. Not seeing anybody rise, could I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. And could I have a motion for a negative determination of applicability as discussed at this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. All right, so this next one is a public hearing, notice of intent, but they have requested this be moved to, or continued to the 6 6/10/2026 meeting. So could I have a motion to continue public hearing, notice of intent, Nicole Smallridge, 21 Virginia Road, Assessors Map 58, Lot 164, DEP file number 305-1230 to not next meeting, but the meeting on June 10th, 2026.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. All right, agenda item F is a public hearing, notice of intent for Gene Sullivan, 600 Woburn Street, Assessors Map 3, Lot 82. Could you please introduce yourselves for the record, and then the floor is yours.
Share my curtains on the screen for you guys, or not
Yep.
really, or? Is that right?
Do we have the,
Oh, yeah.
all yours?
Good evening, my name's Gene Sullivan, I'm an engineer, my office is located in Wilmington, Massachusetts. Tonight I'm here representing Pepti Corporation. Alex DiMaggio is one of the owners of the property we're going to discuss tonight. We filed a notice of intent for a new building for the property located at 600 Woburn Street. We've done a few other projects with the board through the years, most recently completing what is kind of the silver edition in the middle of the map plan there. Back in around 2004 or so, we finished that. This property's been, it's about 10 acres of land. It's been occupied by Delaware Valley Corp. Since the late 70s. They make fabrics for like boat decks, and like you see it when you walk in an office building, that ribbed carpet type materials, things of that nature on the property. They are using the existing building as both their corporate headquarters, manufacturing, distribution for their whole operation. We are here tonight to discuss a standalone 21,000 square foot industrial building that they would like to put at the rear of the parcel. We are within, there are there's a wetland in this bottom right-hand corner of the property. Then there's an isolated wetland that was kind of behind the other addition. When we did that work, we treated it as if it was a wetland. We met all the setbacks and all of those things. Obviously, the stormwater was designed to meet the criteria and so forth. For this building, we are going to be creating some new parking areas alongside here and then below the addition for, obviously access, parking for the tenants, and access to get into this. This is going to have drive-in doors along this wetland side of the building. So you'll see some of the parking is grayed out where we'll make sure our box trucks or pickup trucks can get into the building for the different tenants when we get there. Stormwater-wise, we have proposed a couple of ways to deal with the stormwater on site. We're actually making this driveway wider on this side of the property now, so some of that water will head towards the existing basin that we've already constructed. We've enlarged and made that a little bit larger to handle that additional runoff over there. We made this wider for access for fire apparatus, potential trucks that would come to the site. We don't expect tractor trailers, but we want to make sure they could get there if they had to. Additionally, we've got a single slope roof where we've got a roof downspout collection system along this loading side. We're going to bring that across and put this into a basin, and the new parking areas will head into that basin as well. Pretty straightforward design. We have water quality units before any of the drainage structures would dump into the basin. The roof goes in on its own because it's considered clean water. And then we have overflow to the wetland below at, the same rates or lower rates, lower volumes than the existing condition. That's the crux of our project. Happy to answer questions. And then there was an issue that was brought up by the DEP that had stated that our basin should be more than 25 feet from the wetland that we have the edge of the basin at. They're saying it's a surface water, and because it's an infiltration basin, it should be 50 feet. I don't necessarily agree with that. We do this all the time and put it right there. That's where the basins go, next to the wetlands, because that's the low point of the site. We can certainly reconfigure it and disturb more of the existing vegetation and make it a dry basin and pretend it's not going to infiltrate. And I'm looking for some direction from the board, frankly. There's a few ways to do this, to skin the cat. We can put underground systems under the parking lot, but if we did that, we'd probably want to make the building bigger and make it pay for the system. And we're pretty happy with how things are sized today, and everything fits. We thought it was the least disruptive way to handle that. So we'd like to get some guidance for that before we start trying to, we have a peer reviewer through planning. We were with them the other night, so we've got some things to tighten up, but I want to make sure we're all heading down the right path, and we're going down a path this board would think is acceptable.
So this is the stormwater report that we're having conflicts with?
It was the NOI application submitted to DEP.
Once in a while, they make a comment.
Oh.
And
When they go in to do, when I get the DEP file number, sometimes they leave technical comments. And so this is a technical comment attached to the NOI application.
I mean, I don't think I've heard the 50-foot thing that you were talking about.
it's the reason or what they're saying is it's because of an infiltration basin. It needs to be 50 feet. I probably have about 100 of them across the Commonwealth right now that are at the 25-foot because topographically, right, we want to bring everything down to the low side, and we want to try to get the hydrology and the groundwater recharge near the wetland.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have had any comments if it hadn't been brought up already. It seems fairly standard to place it right there to me. I'm not sure if anybody else has any comments.
Is that part of the new stormwater regulations?
It's
from
really
DEP?
nothing new, honestly. It's in the regular stormwater handbook that's been out forever. If you were to classify it as a surface water, to me, a surface water is a wetland that goes to a stream directly or, flows into something. This does not. It's just a wetland that's large enough that it's not isolated. It's a regular wetland, right? So that's how we treat, or I've always treated them. And that's why I wanted to be upfront with you guys and talk to you about it and see what your experiences have been or what your thoughts are regarding it. It's the first time I've seen that comment in my career, to be honest.
It's just hard to disregard their comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we
That's
could get more clarification from DEP on that.
And so you mentioned the other, what,
I mean, in reality, what I could do is, our pond, we did soil testing, obviously, to prove we're 2 feet out of groundwater. I could make this pond deeper by 2 feet, and I could make it go all the way around here and take up all this area outside the 25 feet with what would be just a big grass bathtub, right? And then we'll just let it out real slow, and we'll pretend it doesn't infiltrate. And then the 50-foot setback doesn't apply, which doesn't make any sense to me. And it's just a regular detention basin, right, as opposed to an infiltration basin.
and then you mentioned an alternative of doing stuff underneath the parking lot and.
The alternative is we could have no basin, right, and up in this parking lot somewhere, we could put some underground recharge chambers outside the 50-foot.
But to make it cost effective, you'd want
Well,
to change the project.
I've done one of those. It's extremely expensive, I'm
Right,
sure you know.
Yeah.
For all my clients, the first thing we try to do is dig a hole. It's the cheapest way out, right? And if we can avoid the chambers, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you're just building out so much that you can't avoid using chambers. But on this project, I think it makes a lot of sense to do it this way.
have you explored expanding the existing infiltration bason that's
So
right there?
it's kind of funny, well, not really. We couldn't make this one much larger and still respect the 25-foot over there as well.
All right.
And we have a a large change in groundwater elevation between these two. I mean, they're pretty close. That's 60, 80 feet, and it's 3 feet of difference of what the groundwater level is. It's a lot higher over here than it is over there. It just is what it is, you know, so it's something the property does climb, but you don't usually see that big a variance in that shorter distance.
Now, the tan building, that's the one you just finished a couple of years ago, correct?
This grayish one? Yeah, that's the one that was recently completed, correct.
I'm sorry, and did you say that was completed in 2024?
Or so,
right.
when the construction was completed,
All right.
yeah, 2024, sometime during that year, yeah.
At first, I thought you said you completed it recently in 2004. I was like, that's,
That's not that.
yeah. I guess, like, I'm curious about what happens if we say we agree with you that the infiltration basin should be right there as opposed to somewhere else, and DEP comes back and, you know, are they just going to appeal our decision and tell you can't do that? I'm not sure.
I've not had that, but of course, we haven't really had their guidance and not tried to follow it as well, to be perfectly frank. They haven't really, I don't know what your history is, but they usually don't comment until the last couple of years on anything, frankly, unless it's something egregious.
Yeah.
So,
But
kind of surprised to see anything.
And there's no legitimate way to get that 50, even if you modify the shape of that?
If you look at the 50, let me blow this up. See this blue line that kind of meanders through? That is the 50. And to me, I don't know if the opinion is that the whole bottom has to be out of that zone, or, you know, even this grading to go, because it's basically going up, right? The part that's hatched, that's grass there is the bottom, and then it climbs up 3 feet to a level area around the perimeter, and then it grades back down, right? So if we only had to get the bottom out of the 50 feet, we could do that.
I mean, could we get some clarification on that?
I can absolutely reach out to
I
DEP.
think that would be, as long as we know the rules,
yeah, because like,
and you could make it an odd shape to achieve that, that'd be no issue with me personally.
yeah,
I don't know if they only look at the bottom, though, to be frank, you know, or if whether they think, hey, wherever you're grading to the pond.
I mean, another alternative, I'm not sure if I want to suggest this, but, you know, basically shifting the wetland down, like, you know, replicating it down, but, you know, I don't know how much
But that
would really solve.
replicating to just put it there doesn't make a lot of sense to me, right? Why disturb an already viable wetland? We don't really have a reason to say we want to.
You're still hung up in planning board anyway, correct?
We are, but, yeah, we are. But I really can't do anything without this decision a little bit too, you know, to address the
From
comments.
my point of view, I don't know how you guys feel, I'd love to know, could we get this to that 50 without creating a disaster?
I can absolutely reach out to
Would you
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
need clarification
You
from
guys?
DEP. Yeah.
So if we were to propose to keep, say, the bottom outside the 50 where, as opposed,
Yeah, we want to
Yeah.
help you, it's hard to disregard a
Yeah,
comment.
understand. Okay. Well, maybe, so like I said, probably the simplest solution for me, frankly, without even waiting for that, is to just make this thing really big and say it doesn't go infiltrate at all, and we meet stormwater regs, and it probably will infiltrate some of the time anyways, right? Not depending on the groundwater of
Meets the
the,
letter of the law.
it meets the letter of the law, and it will, most times a year, infiltrate, except when it's really wet and rainy, right? As opposed to losing whatever period of time and.
I mean, technically, you're not supposed to file with us until everything else is said and done. We're the last people you're supposed to apply to. So I think, given that, I would like to see if we can reach out to them and see what the alternative, knowing that, you might be changing the plans to make what seems to be a less effective stormwater.
If it was okay with the board, I'd like to reach out to them myself, as opposed to putting it through your burden to get, and talk to them about what guidance they would like, because we would have to refile back to them to show we address their concerns or not, right?
In my previous experience, they'll CC me on everything, so, we can.
I'm not trying to.
No, absolutely
Make it
not.
easier for you.
But I would be, involved in that anyway, so you don't have to, relay.
Because I might have a couple ideas that I want to run off.
Yeah.
I think it's easier for you to plead your case directly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to get to.
yeah,
We understand that.
yeah, all right, so, let's go with that plan. We'll reach out, or we'll all reach out.
So I can try to get some kind of consensus or direction is really what
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to.
What's the square footage of the building?
The new building is 21,000 square feet.
It's just more of the same operation as the,
Not necessarily. There's a possibility that they may use a part of the building for Delaware Valley, but they're mostly looking for some rental income, to be honest. So we don't have any tenants at this time, but I don't want to limit them from being able to use it themselves if they decide to use part of it or some of it or whatever.
because I'm just thinking like you're dealing with a lot of fabrics, I'm assuming you're cutting a bunch of stuff. Is that creating much,
So they
stuff that you have to, take off site, and, what's the process like for that?
You can speak about that.
We recycle all of I shouldn't say all, I'd say 90 to 95% of our fabric gets recycled back into fiber and then reused in our process.
All right,
And anything there's a very small amount that goes into a trash compactor. Back in the day, we used to bale all of our scrap material, and it would be picked up by, a foreign entity, a company that would recycle it. We, in turn, started doing that in-house.
all right.
That's a massive operation in the other building.
Yeah.
This wouldn't be having that kind of.
No, if we took a bay, let's say, that would mainly be for storage and not of our material, just
Yeah.
whether it's spare machinery, parts for the machinery, stuff like that. We wouldn't be transferring fabrics, fibers, or anything like that back and forth between the buildings.
But yeah, you don't have any special cleanup that you have to do to prevent the, fabric, the loose fibers from getting out into the environment or anything?
No.
They definitely want to do a detention pond. I think I spent over $100,000 in the ground doing Caltex, and that was over 10 years.
Yeah.
Longer time.
Yeah, so
You
probably 3
spent
times.
200. It's just not one-piece liner, nightmare.
So we'll be happy to see if we can get the DEP to believe that if we keep the bottom, say, of the infiltration out of the 50 feet, that's an equitable solution. If not,
I can't speak for, I would be more,
Yeah, we just have to resolve the issue with DEP. We can't
Yeah.
overrule DEP.
and I guess from there, are there any other concerns of the board that we can try to address before we come back next time?
you already noted the bigger driveway. I mean,
We do have a peer review through planning, so there are some comments on drainage that we have to resolve, but nothing that we won't be able to work through, in my opinion.
All right, so I guess at this point, we'll take a motion to continue.
Yep.
Is there your feelings on if we should continue to the next meeting or push it out one more?
So I'm not going back to planning till June 15th.
All right.
So if you probably want to be after that, I assume, at this point?
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
We do have you coming back next meeting
For
for
the
the land disturbance. I don't know
Oh,
how you
yeah.
want to do
I
that.
would like to just continue that until we can pick up this at the same time.
All right.
Doesn't that make sense? We can do them all
Yeah.
at once? So we're disturbing over 1 acre, so we had to ask for the land disturbance permits. I don't think you need me to come back next week and say hi.
So am I correct in assuming that the meeting after June 10th is the 24th? All right, well, I will entertain a motion to continue this public hearing, notice of intent, to the June 24th, 2026 meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. And if I got that date wrong, we can clarify that later.
We'll check.
Can I just get your signature on the continuation?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Next item on the agenda is Agenda Item G, Public Hearing, Notice of Intent and Land Disturbance for AJM Construction, 1325 Main Street, Assessors Map 60, Lot 69, DEP File Number 305-1227. Could you please state your names for the record, and then the floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Mira Cousins with Civil Design Consultants.
And Jim Hanley, Civil Design Consultants.
Thank you.
So we filed a notice of intent and a land disturbance permit application for the proposed mixed-use development located at 1325 Main Street. So we last came here on March 18th, where we opened the hearing and presented this proposal. Since then, we've continued the past few meetings to address all comments from town staff, as well as the peer reviewer. We did get a clean letter from TEC last week indicating that all technical and zoning-related comments have been addressed. We also received approval from the planning board on Monday. So as a brief refresher, the proposed project includes 2 multifamily buildings, 7 units each for a total of 14 units, and then 1 commercial building located at the rear of the site. In terms of wetland jurisdiction, there's a bordering vegetated wetland that's located off-site across the private roadway at the rear of the site. So only a small portion of the rear of the property falls within Conservation Commission's jurisdiction. The 25-foot no disturb zone does not extend onto the site, but a portion of the 50-foot no build and the 100-foot wetland buffer zone does extend onto the rear portion of the property. So the limited work proposed within the 50-foot no build zone consists of grading and a riprap apron associated with the stormwater system. And the work between the 50-foot and the 100-foot buffer zone includes some pavement area as well as a small section of that commercial building. For stormwater management, a subsurface infiltration system is proposed to address recharge volume, along with water quality units to address TSS removal. And as mentioned earlier, all stormwater-related comments from the peer reviewer have been addressed as part of that revised submittal package. So with that, happy to take any questions.
I don't really have too many questions. I'll just say that, you know, it's not super wetland related. I like the idea of the commercial property in the back because I know that I don't know what church that is, but they,
St. Williams.
St. Williams,
Yes.
I believe the congregation uses that area, that driveway back there.
Yes.
I would prefer, trash not find its way back there, and, just being careful about that, maybe having, I hope that a commercial property would be a little bit, less likely to do that back there, and move it. But the wetland's so far away, I remember, the Discount Madness, I think, repaving, it felt kind of silly that they were coming to us I think it was repaving when it's like, there's an entire road that acts as effectively as a buffer. So, from a wetlands perspective, it doesn't seem like this property can do much harm in that way, but I'll open it up to the rest of the commission to, if you have any questions or comments.
Dan, I just had a question about number 45 on the TEC response. And I just don't really understand what they're saying. So you're saying that you're taking into account the site as if the building is still there, even though it was torn down in 2020?
Correct.
And they're saying, well, that's kind of up to us, whether we want to accept that or not.
Up to the planning board, and they accepted
Planning
it.
board, yeah. And is that common practice? Like you go back to whatever was there?
Yeah, so that building's been there since 1979, so it was there for 40 years. They raised that building and the surrounding pavement in anticipation of a project that got approved by this board in 2018, but it never went through. So it's kind of been sitting in that temporary state for just only like 5 years or so. So it's common practice to use the historical pre-development conditions, and that's what we did.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any other outstanding? There's the two outstanding comments for stormwater. This was designed to the conditions, and then the subdrain call out and the retaining wall should be revised to remove the option for drain outlets at 40 foot on center.
Yeah, we're going to remove that note.
Yeah.
That was a typo.
All right. All right, I don't have any other questions. I just want to read out some special conditions. A little bit longer than the other ones. So conditions may include permanent wetland boundary signs to be installed along limit of work every 25 feet. No activity shall occur past these signs. Activities including walking, operation, or storage of equipment, vegetation removal, digging, or addition of fill. The applicant shall install and maintain perimeter controls around the area of work to prevent the deposition of debris into nearby resource areas. Perimeter controls shall remain in place until all areas of erodible materials have been stabilized at the site. These controls shall act as a limit of work. No equipment can be stored or work done past that point. Prior to any construction activity commencing, the following must be completed. ESCs shall be installed by the applicant or an agent of the applicant, and the conservation agent shall inspect and approve of the installed ESCs. ESCs shall consist of entrenched silt fencing and staked straw wattles. Prior to the end of activity, all exposed soil must be stabilized. A copy of the wetland delineation for this property must be included in the closing documents for conveyance. Are you comfortable with all of that?
I think the only one is the first one relative to the signage. So that's a typical condition that we always agree to, but where the 25 falls almost into that driveway that's not on our property. That might be, we're basically working up to the property line there.
This is 25.
Yeah, so
it would
be on the other side of that driveway.
Right, which we don't have control of, right? So
how long is that stretch?
So you can see the pink line there, that is
the-
50 feet, right? So our nearest impact might be 45 feet.
I mean, how wide is the property at that point? Yeah, if you were to install signs, how many, in every 25 feet, how many signs would you need to put on? Is it 200, feet wide, or is it 50?
What's the frontage there? Frontage is like,
feet, so it's about 240 feet.
240
So you're
feet.
saying signage along the property line?
Yeah, that's, with the road there, that's where I'm kind of like, it would not be on the 25-foot zone, but then you'd be seeing the sign and then the road immediately after.
I mean, I don't think we have an issue with it. I think it just might look a little silly, right? Because it's going
Yeah.
to say no disturbance beyond here, which is our property line, and, but,
I got a suggestion, why don't we throw it in there and we'll work. let
okay,
common
yeah, that's
sense
fine.
work it
Yeah, we
out.
can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a site walk, it does look silly, kind of adjust. You guys like that?
So wait, instead
Keep it in there, but let's adjust it for common sense.
Maybe at the discretion of the agent in coordination with the
Yeah.
applicant
You
or
like
something
that?
like that?
That's a great,
Okay.
All right, so I'll just, I'll revise this condition that per the agent's discretion, permanent wetland boundary signs to be installed along limit of work or property boundary every 25 feet. No activity shall occur past these signs. Activities including walking, operation of storage of equipment, vegetation removal, digging, or addition of fill. Is that?
Yeah, I
think
mean,
that-
as long as there's some flexibility that we can work
Yeah.
with Abigail.
Yeah, I get your
There's a-
point.
I think
There's
common
kind of
sense
a
has-
wall there too, so I think it's like, it's a pretty defined
All right.
location, but
Yeah.
we can look at it.
All right. All right. This is a public hearing. Now is the time, if anybody in the public would like to make a comment. I'm assuming the one person in the public is going to be fine with this. So I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. And could I have a motion to approve the notice of intent and land disturbance as discussed at this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Great,
much.
thank you.
All right. You're up for H2.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about it.
So I let the commission know that there was some disagreement on whether this was a minor modification or a minor land disturbance or a major land disturbance. Once I get your application, I have to put it on the agenda. You all can request to do whatever you want with that.
Okay. No, we understand it's a major land disturbance, we agree.
All right.
But we just have to
So,
send the notification out. There's a process for that, right? It's a public hearing.
we haven't actually, I haven't opened that
Okay.
application yet. So I'm just gonna, all right, next item on the agenda is minor land disturbance for Marwick Associates LLC, 0 Merrimack Drive, Assessors Map 28, and 20, and 41, lots 1, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 25, and 26. All right, now can you please explain the situation again?
Yeah, I think, so we originally filed this as a major land disturbance permit, but then there was some confusion that this could potentially be a minor land disturbance because there's quite a bit of exemptions allowed. But then because of the disturbance of slopes greater than 15%, it looks like we do have to go back to the major land disturbance.
All right.
So we just have to file accordingly, so.
All right.
Yeah, we found that out just a couple of days ago, give or
Yeah.
take, so I think it's the butter notification that needs to now happen. The application was prepared as a major, so the application material shouldn't change.
Yeah,
Uh,
nothing changes, it's just we have to notify a butter so that it could be a public hearing. That's it.
All right, but basically, it's really the slope of the project that.
Correct, that triggers that.
Yeah, all right. All right, so I will entertain a motion to continue this minor land disturbance to the next meeting on May 27th, 2026, unless you think it will take longer and I should extend it.
No,
more.
we can keep
All
it that way, yeah.
Could I have a motion to that effect? Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you very much. All right, any admin reports?
They went out to Long Pond and the readings were fantastic. So they had really high dissolved oxygen, really deep Secchi depth, so everything was looking really good, which is exciting.
And yeah, did we discuss last meeting that there was a septic tank that was failing and it was causing misreadings, or they should have been higher or something like that?
Last season, they had some trouble with our readings. They looked a little, not crazy, nothing like concerning, but they looked a little funky. They were just kind of low. The dissolved oxygen was low. There was some illicit discharge in the area that we believe may have triggered the lower numbers, but everything looks really good so far this season.
Cool.
Right here.
All right. If there's nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next meeting is May 27th, 2026.